You prayed, but God didn't seem to answer your prayer. You lost a family member as a result of sickness. Where was God? Does God need your forgiveness? Let's look into that today. Earlier this week, I was playing around online again and I found this video in which it was an interview involving 4 people, a guest, an interviewer and 3 guests, and somewhere along the line, this saying became something they emphasized: forgive God. That sounds strange. Does God ever need our forgiveness? Well, let's entertain the question for a minute. Let me tell a quick story. About 10 years ago, while I was in some other part of the nation, on what we call youth service here in Nigeria, where I worked, one other lady who worked in the same institution with me, she also was part of a fellowship I was a part of, and there was this day she walked up to me and shared something very important to her. She shared it with me. Someone, well, of course, she was grown enough to be married, and someone had approached her asking for her hand in marriage. The person turned out to be a pastor. But while she was open to marrying a preacher, a pastor, she had serious questions in her heart. To go back a little, before she got her admission into the university, someone had prophesied to her that she was going to have an extra year. Probably, I don't remember all the details, but let's say she had a 4-year course, but she was going to have an extra year, making a 5-year course as a result of maybe things going wrong. So that prophecy had been given to her ever before she got to the higher institution. So she prepared to fix it so that it wouldn't happen. So when she got to the university, she was serious with God. She was serious with the things of God. She prayed regularly. She went to the student fellowships regularly. She served in the student fellowship. She did all she knew to please God so that God would prevent the extra year from becoming a reality. But as God would have it, she did get that extra year. And ever since then, she had been a little bit disappointed with God. That again is a strange saying, to be disappointed with God. But we have all been there. We've all lost family members to sickness, to motor accident. So many things we prayed about that we felt God didn't do anything about. And there has been a level of dissatisfaction we've carried over the years. It's happened to me. It's happened to many people around me. I'm sure it's happened to you too and to many people around you. Now, if we bring that to the table, if we choose to reflect on that, God not doing what we think He should have done when we have done all we think we needed to do. Like the story I told, she prayed, she served in church, she was, faithful to the best of her ability, and she felt she shouldn't have gotten an extra year. And many of us feel that way. I've served God all my life. Why did I lose my mom at a very young age? Why did my dad lose his job? And we had to go into serious times of lack, long periods of lack. Many of us have so many such questions. Now, to get back to the video I referenced earlier, does God need our forgiveness? I remember my response to the lady after she explained her situation to me. I realized what emotions was going through her, what thoughts were going through her, and I kind of made the same statement that these people in the interview made. I was trying to find language to dissolve our dissatisfaction with God. And the only language that lent itself to me in that moment was, can you please forgive God? Just like they said in the interview. Now, so many people have questioned that saying. What do you mean? How dare you say, forgive God? How dare you? Who are you to forgive God? But can we hold our horses? Can we pause? I relate because I found myself, I remember making that very statement to this lady nearly 10 years ago. I couldn't find a better language in that moment. The first thing that came out of my mouth is, can you please forgive God? But I too realized immediately that this doesn't sound right. This doesn't make any sense. How do you forgive God? Who are you to forgive God? How dare you? How dare I say that? And I agree with everyone who feel the same way. Who are you to talk about forgiving God? If anyone needs forgiveness, you and I need forgiveness from God, not the other way around. But that doesn't take away the fact that there are things we all feel God should have done, but he didn't do. I am not here to explain away the pains you've gone through in the past, but simply to say, maybe rather than say, forgive God, you should think of it in this other term, which was what I later on told the lady, because like I said, I figured this isn't a good statement. Why should I say that? Why should I be asking someone to forgive God? It doesn't make any sense. So I kept thinking about it, and before I ended that conversation, I told her, can you please justify God? And I think that's the way I would want you to hold on to that word. Now, I do not approve of most of what was said in that video. For those of you who are familiar with the video, I do not approve of most of what they said. But I don't want to talk too much about it. I'm only addressing that issue because I found myself in that same position many years ago. And I can relate to some extent. And I want to say to you, maybe you can follow the link from thinking about forgiving God to what I ended up saying to the lady about justifying God. Can you please justify God? And that's also a message to you. What are your pains? What are the things you hold in your heart against God? Can you please justify God? Because he is just. You don't have all the information. You don't have all the perspective. You and I are humans. We don't see, we don't have the broadest view. We only have a little bit of information of what happened in those situations we are thinking of, you and I are thinking of, your personal story, my personal story. We don't have all the data. You may think you have, but you actually don't. You are human, I am human. We know how limited our perspectives are. We know how limited our access to information is. So, can you please justify God on the basis that there are things that you don't understand? Can you please justify God? I want you to think about that today. Whatever grievances you have against God, can you please justify him? I'm not asking you to forgive him today. I'm asking, can you please justify God? So I hope you take that message home today. I hope you find it in your heart to justify God. God bless you.